Traders in Karatina were expected to move into newly completed open-air market. The market was launched last week by President Uhuru Kenyatta. The market is said to be the second largest open-air market in Africa. Our Martin Munene is live there and talks about a situation that may not see that market open today. Martin Munene, good morning. What is it like where you are?
All right, very good morning, Sam. And like you rightly put it, we are at Karatina Market, a market that was actually officially opened about a week ago, actually on Thursday last week by President Uhuru Kenyatta. Now, what is happening here is that today, Sam, we were expecting that we're going to come and find a lot of activities going on here, but none of that has happened. Of course, we understand that there has been some hitches. And just to give you an, just to give you a background of what is happening and why that is happening, I want to show you the structure of this particular place. Like you can see, this particular place where I stand, this is the first floor of the main building block. It's an open floor plan that is actually on the ground floor rather. Then on the first floor of the same building is the same similar plan. But on the third floor of this building, we have what they're calling stalls that actually inside this particular building block, and that is one of the areas that has been greatly contentious. And I also want to take you outside this particular block, Sam, so that I can show you what else there is that has brought about a pull and push between the county government of Nyeri and also the traders in this particular area. Of course, traders here feeling that this particular project, 450 million shillings project, was actually constructed by the national government, and so they have been saying the county government of Nyeri has no right to actually get a revenue or excess revenue, as they say, from this particular market. Now, from that particular block, a three-story building, from that particular block, we come to outside the market, and here we've got a roofed kind of a structure that has structures that are also used by the traders. This is more open air compared to that side. As you can see, traders are expected to come here. We've got around 350 of these particular structures. Now, Sam, to give you a better picture of what is happening here or what it's like here, this is one structure from this end to this end. Now, a trader is expected to be here, sell his commodities or her commodities from this side and also from this side. Down here, there are spaces where they can use to store. This also has no contention because, like you can see, it's an open space, just like where they are. Only that it's roofed now, and also it has a raised structure of sorts, and therefore they can be able to store their produce here. They can also be able to sell from here. Now, Sam, the bone of contention is where I want to show you. Now, this is one of the things that has actually delayed this particular movement today. As you can see behind me, there are stalls, peripheral stalls, over 300 of them are actually outside here. There are some facing inside the market, and there are some that are facing on the road outside the market, and there are also a whole floor of them when it comes to the main building block. Now, the traders here are complaining that the county government of Nyeri, through the Finance Act or Revenue Collection Act or Bill 2018, these particular stalls are supposed to be charged 10,000 shillings per month, and the traders cannot, they are saying that they cannot pay that kind of money. They say they cannot be able to afford it. When you go to the open spaces, they pay about 10 shillings per day, but here they're supposed to pay 10,000 shillings a month, and inside the stalls that are inside the market, they're supposed to pay 7,000 shillings a month, and so they're saying they cannot share, any of that, and it has to be renegotiated. The county government of Nyeri, on the other hand, has said, yeah, we need to sit and talk about this, but now this is low, so it needs some time and a process to change. And now the county government of Nyeri was proposing that they bring in the traders who are going to occupy all these other spaces, and the stalls can be left. But the traders are like, no, we need to move together, and also the allocation of stalls has had some problems. And so briefly, Sam, let me just speak to these traders to just get a feel of what it's like. This is the chairman of the traders. His name is Ephraim Maina. So a very good morning to you, Maina. And just tell us, you expected to start moving today, and how do you feel when you're not moving? And maybe very, very briefly, what is the main problem? Kwa kifupi.
Okay, thank you. My name is Ephraim Maina. We are expecting to move from today, but due to some problems facing us, we cannot move today. We are expecting to move maybe next week by Wednesday or by Thursday. That means when the president opens this week, we have to take 2 weeks so that we go to we move to this market. The main challenges facing us is that when this market was opened, the people and county government was not aware that it will be opened, and they were not prepared for the people to move to this market. And that's why by now they have done nothing for us to move to this market, but they have done the drawing, marking note and the allocating note. We are waiting for them to do that, allocating at the market, and then we come to vote and we move to this market. Right. We are expecting to move as early as possible, and that's what the governor had told us, that we will move maybe on next week or by the end of the next week, and that's what we are expecting.
Thank you very much. I speak briefly some to another trader, very briefly. Anataka uniambie unaitwa nani na uniambie mambo ya bei. Nyinyi bei mnataka ikae namna gani?
Sawa, mimi naitwa Wamoyo ama wananjua Mchoki. Sasa kulingana na vile mambo ya soko imekaa, our commodities have different prices. So the allocating houses that we are being given, the stalls, are being charged at 10,000, and that is too much to us compared to what we get in every commodity. Kulingana na vile tunauza na mapato ambayo tunauza, hatuwezi pata the 10,000 ambayo inachajiwa kwa kile nyumba. So we need at least to be charged at amount of 2,000 per house.
2,000 per house, she says some, and I know every other trader here will concur with her. They were saying 2,000, 3,000 shillings some, and that is how the situation is here. But now, tragically, the fact that we've been here and we've not seen, this place has not been demarcated, allocating an individual where they should be, and therefore these traders are saying, up to now, if this hasn't happened, then when should it happen? But I've also been able to speak to the county government of Nyeri, and they say that they should be able to move these traders latest next week. But then, of course, if these matters are not resolved, there's a likelihood that there's going to be conflict. Last week we saw a demo here with traders saying that they have a feeling that the reason they are not being moved that fast is because they are looking, or the county government actually accusing the county government of looking for people who can actually be able to afford the 10,000 shillings they're asking for the stalls, which these traders say they were given a market, but they cannot be able to pay 10,000 shillings a month for rent or for these particular stalls. Back to you in studio, and of course this is a story that we will be following even in the coming week, just to see when these traders can actually come here and start operation. It's been a decade of waiting, Sam, and therefore they're of course eager to just move and just come and continue with their businesses and go back to their normal lives. Back to you in studio, Sam, from Nyeri County. I'm Martin Wanene.
Well, Martin, just before you go, if you still have Martin, last week rather, when you had the governor of that county talking about that stall, he was indicating that the people who have been operating that market before it was constructed were going to be given the first priority to occupy the spaces there. Has the county finally come up with how that will be done, and what stops any person who does not get space there from operating from outside the market?
All right, Sam. That is one actually of the issues that the county government of Nyeri is trying to resolve with these particular traders. The traders on their part feel that their locations should be first priority should be given to those who are here. Sam, this is a market that is bigger than what it was before. In the past, 10 years ago, the traders who are here were actually about 1,800, and this current market can actually occupy up to around 3,000 traders. But of course, 10 years, Sam, is a long time. Some people have died, others moved on because, like Sam, the other market is not a very conducive environment for people to do business. So some actually left. Now there's a contention of those who left, do they come back? And those who died, who will replace them? And therefore, it's still an ongoing thing. Traders and the county government trying to engage themselves to find who exactly needs to be where. And of course, 10 years, Sam, a long time. The list, of course, could be distorted. So there's that whole push and pull. But I also understand this particular week that is we are ending now today. Some traders have actually been able to actually come up with the numbers or the people people they feel should be given priority. And what they're saying is that they're saying, for example, some there are tomato sellers in the people who sell tomatoes in the market. Those ones should be moved as a block because they know each other. There are cabbage sellers. Those ones also, depending on what commodities or what business a person is doing, they say that they can be able to identify authentic traders of this market, and they feel even once all that is done, they should also have the say of who gets the extra slots. There has been a debate some on the who gets the extra slots. Will it be people from Madera constituency where this market is, or will it be people from the entire Nyeri County, because this is a national government project? So those are some of the things that are going on, but we understand that the priority will be given to traders who were here and those that are authenticated by the traders themselves and their leadership that is standing behind me. Back to you, Sam.